I don't even know if I want to film this right now. I just ate a bunch of soup and my cheeks are all pink. Anyway, this video is going to have a much more impressive title because I intended to go on with the raw milk fast for longer. However, the farm where I get my raw milk from, unfortunately, has some potential bacterial contamination, so they have to cease selling their raw milk for the time being. Bummer. So I had to end the fast prematurely, but still 7 days, it's something. It was an interesting experience, and so I will tell you all about it. And yes, let's go. So over the winter, I read a book. I should have double checked what it's called before I started filming this, but it's like milk diet as a remedy for chronic disease. It's an old book from like early 1900s, and it's available for free as a PDF online. You can find it easily if you want to check it out. And I was like, yeah, you know, maybe in the spring when the cows start eating all that fresh spring green grass and the milk's flowing, maybe I'll give it a try. The only part of the prescription for the milk diet that this book lays out that I followed was only consuming raw milk, because there's other things it recommends that I just can't do. Like, you're supposed to basically just stay in bed the whole time. You're supposed to rest the entire time, and that's supposed to be a important part of the diet working. I can't do that. You know, I've got kids, I have a family. I'm never, unless I'm like actually debilitated in some way, I can't just lay in bed. It also recommends taking hot baths every evening. I can't do that because my bathtub is too small. I can't submerge my whole self in the bath. And also, I generally don't have time for like an hour-long bath in the evenings because, again, family, kids, whatever. So, you know, I'm not actually trying to heal any kind of diagnosed chronic disease, for one thing. And I'm like, I can just drink raw milk and that'll be fine. So I'm gonna do that. And it has to be raw milk. I'm gonna throw that out there. Don't do this with pasteurized milk. But yeah, so it came to be spring and I just kind of chose a time to start. You're also supposed to do like a 1 to 2 day actual fast before you start the milk diet. So either just water, having water for 1 to 2 days, or it says the book says the person can just eat fresh ripe fruit for those 2 days. I didn't do that because I intended to, but life's just been like busy and crazy, and I'm like putting it off. I'm like, spring's not lasting forever. I don't want to be restricting myself when all like the fruits and everything and vegetables start coming into season here. So yeah, I just didn't do that. I was like, screw it. I'm never gonna be as prepared as I want to be, so I'm just gonna do it, whatever. Cheeks are so big. I have a hot face. So I ended up settling in at about a gallon of raw milk per day, and that's all I consumed except for some water. I didn't drink as much water as I normally would be, but I drank some water as well as some San Pellegrino. I found that to be a nice palate cleanser because milk really like sticks to my tongue. You know, I have issue with like whiteness on my tongue anyhow, but with milk, it's like it gets way worse. There's like something in the milk that just straight up sticks to my tongue. And having the sparkling water, like sparkling mineral water, felt like a nice palate cleanser. So that was good. I had that. But yeah, and that's it. So I didn't eat anything. I felt pretty much totally fine the whole time. I felt pretty normal. Mild headaches the first couple of days. I think I was just a little dehydrated. I wasn't drinking enough water those first couple of days. but I felt fine. Starting around day 5, my poop started to get a little weird. I think that's to be expected. I started to feel a little bit constipated. I don't know how long I would have ended up doing the diet, because if the constipation ended up getting really bad, I think I would have, stopped. The book recommends going for a minimum of 4 weeks, where it's like 3 weeks of just milk and then 1 week slowly introducing solid foods again. I don't know if I would have lasted that long anyway, but yeah, so I started to get a little constipated, but not too bad. Like, it was just mild constipation, but my energy was good. I don't feel like my cognition was super improved on it, which is annoying. I did seem to lose a couple of pounds. I was taking my weight every morning, and before the milk diet, my weight in the morning, first thing, was generally hovering at around like 180 or 181. And then during the course of the milk diet, it got down to like 177, 178. And I seem to have maintained that so far. So I guess maybe I lost 2 pounds or so. Yay! So I'm curious if that weight loss would have continued had I been able to continue with the milk diet. The problem with this, I mean, I guess one of the problems, maybe the main problem, is it's just kind of stupid. Like, why would I do this? But one of the problems is that I have absolutely no clue how many calories. There's a delivery man. Oh gosh, come on, you're killing me. Dang delivery man. I don't like people seeing me film myself, like talking into a camera. It's embarrassing. I have not progressed to the new reality that we live in, where people are just filming themselves all the time. It's still very weird to me. Anyhow, what was I talking about? Damn. Delivery man. Dang it. Oh yeah, okay, so I have absolutely no idea how many calories I was consuming, because I was skimming some of the cream, or removing some of the cream off of the milk. The book does say you can do that. Because if you just drink full fat milk, and that's all you're having, that ends up being a lot of fat in a day, like a ton. And I want to keep my fat intake a bit lower as I'm trying to lose weight. So I was removing a good bit of the cream, but clearly not all of it. Like, I can't get every last bit of milk fat, which I didn't want to do anyway. Like, still want a little bit. So I have no clue how many calories I was consuming during the course of this diet. But since I did seem to lose a couple of pounds. However, I didn't feel hungry at all. Like, there was, I think maybe the second or third day, I drank a little bit less just because I was busier that day, and I ended up missing some of my milks. And then I was hungry, by the time I woke up in the morning. I felt quite hungry, but drinking right around a gallon a day, I didn't feel hungry. So I assume I was getting, sufficient calories, or else I would have felt hungry, right? I don't know. You tell me. Fasting is interesting because time passed really slowly. Like, it was a really long week, and I wasn't like, I was fine. I enjoyed drinking milk well enough. I definitely started to get a little sick of it by the end, but like, it was fine. And there are definitely some pros, like not having to figure out what I'm gonna eat and then eating, and like having to cook less food just simplifies life. I intend to do some true fasting probably next. Just water fasting. And I think that's a great benefit of fasting, is that it kind of simplifies, especially if you're dealing with like, you know, lack of focus and like cognitive overload or whatever, scatterbrainness. Just like it simplifies life so much, because food is such an important part of our daily life. And we usually spend so much time like thinking about food, cooking food, figuring it all out. Like, especially if you have a family, it's like, what am I giving my kids, and like whatever. But like taking myself out of that equation and just figuring it out for other people was really nice. And it'll be nice if I can get my husband to fast with me at the same time. Then we like just making food for the kids. That'll be super easy. Free up a lot of time. That's definitely a pro of any sort of simple fasting, you know, whether true fasting or something like this. Juice fasting, I don't know, because although you don't have to figure anything out, it still takes a long time to juice stuff and like clean the juicer and stuff. I'm interested in juice fasting, but I don't have a good enough juicer for that. Maybe in the future. But yeah, so that's a nice benefit of fasting. And I look forward to trying to do maybe a 7-day water fast coming up here soon. I'll talk to you about that. Okay, so milk fast, yes, cool. Would I recommend the milk diet? No, not really. If you have some sort of chronic disease, like, you know, you got like dropsy or piles, maybe, or tuberculosis, I don't know, whatever they used to get back then, maybe. But from the modern day, I mean, certainly I would say it would be an improvement on a lot of people's diets. But if you're gonna fast, probably just like actually fasting is the better way to go, I would think. Plenty of proven benefits to true fasting. Yeah, so I look forward to that. Oh yeah, one other thing. I was pretty depressed during the milk diet, during the course of the diet. Like, there was one day where I perked up and I felt better, but I felt pretty depressed most of the time. I don't know if that was because of the diet or just something else. It's kind of atypical for me during that part of my cycle. Like, normally I get some like PMS symptoms and I get kind of down in the dumps around then. But yeah, so I guess it was probably the diet. I don't know why. It's weird. I mean, like, the only thing I can think of is, I mean, unless it's just the friggin' milk, whatever, you know, but I finally stopped having any caffeine, right? I talked about this in my last video about, excuse me, how caffeine actually works now. I was still having it fairly frequently, you know, several times a week, just not every day and not first thing in the morning, but I was still having caffeine. And I've heard other people say, I keep covering up my mic with my hair. I've heard other people say that that can be like a caffeine withdrawal symptom is depression. So maybe that's just it, that I finally stopped having any caffeine. And so it made me sad. But yeah, that's my other observation to share about the milk diet. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Y'all, if anyone wants to buy me a $500 juicer so I can do a juice fast, you just let me know, okay?